Hello students, this week we're going to learn about Vincent Van Gogh. Today I'm going to read Getting to Know the World's Greatest Artist, written and illustrated by Mike Venezia. This is Vincent Van Gogh. Vincent Van Gogh was one of the most tragic artists who ever lived. Nothing ever seemed to go right for him, and he wasn't very happy. He never even smiled in his self-portraits. Van Gogh was born in Holland in 1853 and died in France in 1890. Unlike most artists, Van Gogh didn't decide to become a painter until he was grown up. He tried a lot of other things first. He worked in an art gallery selling paintings. He tried teaching. He worked in a bookstore, and he was a preacher like his dad. None of these things made him very happy. Then one day, he decided to be an artist. Van Gogh always tried his best at whatever he did, so he went to different art schools to learn everything he could about drawing and painting. His early drawings were of the poor people he used to help when he was a preacher. There are certain things you can see in these drawings that show up later in his famous paintings, such as the strong lines and shapes. You can see the feelings he had for everyday people. Van Gogh's first paintings were also of the poor people he had been helping. In this painting, the family was so poor they only had a few potatoes to eat for dinner. They looked tired and not very happy. The colors in Van Gogh's early paintings are dark and sad. He wanted everyone to know how hard the lives of the poor people were. Van Gogh kept using dark colors until he discovered some very colorful Japanese artwork. He loved the bright colors and strong lines and the shapes he saw. Soon, Van Gogh's paintings started to look much more colorful. Look at the difference between the gloomy potato eaters and the painting above, which was done a few years later. We know a lot about how Van Gogh felt and why he did certain things because he was always writing letters to his younger brother Theo. Theo always helped his brother. He encouraged him to paint and sent him money when he could. Because Van Gogh was always sending and receiving letters, he got to know his postman very well. He painted pictures of him and used the postman's wife as a model in many of his paintings as well. In 1886, Vincent moved to Paris, France, to join Theo. Paris was the center of the art world then. Since Theo was in the business of buying and selling paintings, and Vincent wanted to be an artist, it seemed like a pretty good place to be. Theo introduced Vincent to a lot of painters while they lived in Paris. Hardly anyone knew it then, but many of those painters would become the world-famous artists someday. A couple of years later, Vincent Van Gogh decided to leave Paris and move to a small country town called Arles. Van Gogh thought Arles would be a great place for artists to get together to paint and talk about their different ideas. He tried very hard to get as many artists as he could to join him. The only one to try it out was Paul Gauguin, although he wasn't really crazy about the idea. It turned out to be a big mistake. Gauguin didn't seem to like anything Van Gogh did in Arles. They argued a lot. Van Gogh probably decided to listen to Gauguin about cleaning the place up because his bedroom looks pretty neat in this painting. Finally, after a very bad argument, Gauguin decided to leave Van Gogh and return to Paris. Van Gogh didn't know what to do. He really wanted things to work out well with Gauguin. Van Gogh had always had problems during his life with the way he felt. Sometimes he would get so angry and upset that no one could make him feel better. This time, he became so angry and upset he cut off part of his ear. Van Gogh painted pictures of himself after this happened. It looks like he wished he hadn't done it. Vincent Van Gogh never really got better after Gauguin left him. Sometimes he was too angry to paint, and sometimes he was too sad to paint. When he felt good, he painted better than ever. He made the stars in the starry night seem like they're really shining. The trees in this painting look like flames, and it feels like the whole picture is moving. In this painting, Van Gogh made the sun look really hot. You almost feel like you should put sunglasses on to look at it. Van Gogh used so much paint he was always running out. Sometimes he stopped buying food in order to buy more paint. So he was hungry a lot of the time and he wasn't healthy. Hardly anyone was interested in Van Gogh's work while he was alive. He sold only a few drawings and maybe 1 or 2 paintings. People in the 1880s and 1890s just weren't used to the bright, moving pictures that Van Gogh made. Today, things are different. People have learned how beautiful Vincent Van Gogh's art is. Now, his paintings are some of the most popular in the world.